All right.
We're back.
Welcome to Farm Life. Green acres is where I want to be.
Burning
I just
up.
come out of the garden and I was hoeing around and
I wasn't. Not me.
cleaned up a little bit of the vegetables, all kind of good stuff. Well, I'm gonna tell you, reminds me of a story when me and Elvis was working the field. I'm telling you, he was driving the mule and plow, and
if
I was putting the seeds down behind him. If you believe that, boy, I tell you what. Anyway, now for the
so
comedy.
much for the garden.
So much for the garden.
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. You got to dry it now. Oh, that's real good. Okay.
That's how he dries his hair. It's just like, and that does it. That's it.
Welcome to Elvis Fans Matter, and thank you. You can see we're still all about half crazy. Maybe always crazy.
Always crazy.
But we got a few more questions.
You know,
and
the way it is today, though,
hey, look,
the world.
I was talking. My time.
My turn.
Okay, go ahead.
The way I was going to say, the way the world is now, it helps to be a little crazy. Fit right in.
All right.
Well, that going along with the garden theme, there was a question asking about y'all's garden. And I thought maybe later today we could go down. I'll get some film or pictures of it and
nice.
to add into it so y'all can see what's going. But they said, do you do tomatoes in your garden? What you do?
Yeah.
What kinds and how many plants do y'all have on tomatoes this year?
Okay, we got
We don't have as many.
we got
this
about
year.
I cut down about half of what I used to do.
Which was like 72. What last year?
I'm down to about, I guess, 32
tomato plants.
tomato plants, 6 squash plants,
Yellow
6
squash.
zucchini,
6 zucchini.
About 6
Okra.
6 bell peppers, 6 banana pepper, and the list
Cucumbers.
goes on. Cucumbers. I got a
Cucumbers.
row of cucumbers.
Peas. Green beans. And lima beans.
And just about killed me.
Me, I just got to the grocery store and buy all mine.
we figured out a way, though.
I'm city folk.
Yeah, we figured out a way, though. It sounds cruel in a way, but they put an electric fence around one of the gardens to keep out the deer.
Yeah.
Well, and that was what somebody
raccoons.
asked was how do y'all keep like animals, pests, anything from getting in your garden? Because the person that asked the question said that they had a lot of trouble with a lot of their beans and a lot of their stuff getting ate up.
We do too. But there's so many deer on this land here. It's like 65 acres, and it's just
Believe me,
covered with animals.
that electric wire does the trick. I saw a deer going across there. He backed up to it, and he was going.
And also, Billy bought some. What are they? That high pitched sound.
Animals can hear.
And when they get within 30 feet, they go off. We can't hear it, but the animals can. But then the other day, Billy went down there, and right in the middle of the garden was a big old turkey.
Yeah.
So a wild turkey. So it was just
The
dusty.
one we got the fence around now.
No, the one without the fence.
But
the things
one
they
without
won't
the
eat.
fence around it is,
They've never eaten our
he
tomatoes.
or
and
she
things.
was in it. I think it's a he.
Yeah.
A gobbler. They saw me, and of course they took off flying.
Yeah.
But
We have a lot of things down, but Billy has a lot of equipment that he doesn't have, that he pulls like a tiller behind the tractor, so that way he doesn't really have to get out and do anything. Just he plants the plants far enough apart that he just goes in between them and keeps not one blade of grass in it.
Don't allow no grass.
No
Might be a
grass.
blade or two.
No
but
grass
don't
and
see
no
much.
kids in his garden.
Anyway,
Sound like my daddy.
of course, they had a little garden at Graceland when he first bought it.
That was a question.
Was it?
That was
Yeah.
my next
They have a
question.
little garden at Graceland and all. Few tomatoes and a couple other things that they raised. And but I think they had it just 1 year, and that was in '57. Of course, that was, his mother passed away. And
That was probably for her. She liked
yes, she
stuff
liked
like
it.
that.
Yeah, had chickens, stuff like that.
And
I've
to
told
them,
all that before. But
that many acres to them, like was it 14 acres?
well, it's almost
Almost 14.
13.9 if I'm.
That was a lot of land compared
that a
to
fact?
what they were used to.
Huh?
Is that a fact?
That's it. That is a.
Fact.
Gotcha.
Fact.
Just want to make sure.
But they had tried
Well,
to
that
make it
1/10 of an acre that kept it from being 14 acres was left on that right-hand side where that church used to be.
Okay.
I don't know if that church is still
I don't
there
know
or
if the
not,
church
but
is still there.
that was left.
It's not a church anymore, I don't think. It's
Well,
something else.
whatever.
But she liked things like that, and you could. That brings me up to a question they had about tell a funny story about Lamar.
Mhm.
You can you can tell about when they went to get the chickens and things, and Lamar was in the back seat with them. They went down and.
And got they got
But to hear Lamar tell it, it was like, whew,
yeah.
you know. Where'd they go down in
I believe they went to
Horn Lake, South Haven, somewhere down
it
in
was
there?
either.
Down in
I think it was
Mississippi.
around Hernando.
Hernando.
Yeah, and there's some mighty farm down there. Got chickens and ducks. He bought a couple horses. I'm not really sure where he got those from. Of course, he had a couple
Donkeys.
And when they went and got them, boy, Elvis had 54. Well, it could have been a 55. I'm not positive, but it was a yellow Cadillac limousine that they used to, to go on
They
the road.
put those chickens in that limousine.
Huh?
They brought those chickens in that limousine.
And
Oh my God.
he went down there and
Just
he
put them in
was
the back with
looking,
Lamar.
he was just looking to start with. And when he saw them, he had to get them for his mama and all. He did. But they had to petition down, and I'm gonna tell you, boy, they throw ducks in there and chickens in the back and in the trunk and everywhere else.
can
They
you
had all
imagine?
kind of animals, turkeys. And when they got back, boy, I'm gonna tell you, it was some funny sight.
Especially Lamar.
Yeah, got out.
He was in the back seat
Boy,
with chickens.
Lamar, he was griping. He had chicken crap and stuff all over.
Feathers.
And he told Elvis, he said, man, I go with you anywhere, but if you want to go back there, I'm not going.
They had to have.
But
They had to
they
take
did,
that. Yeah, they had to take that car and have it
God,
fumigated.
Yeah, that sucker was.
Well, how they get them out?
Then he got rid of it.
How they get them out? I can imagine opening the doors and just.
They just let them go.
They just let 'em go.
Yeah, they gathered them up. When the chickens, they built the chicken house and they pinned them up. Now the turkey bow tie, he run free and the ducks run free.
Yeah.
And had one crooked bill duck,
Yeah.
and Uncle Vernon always said that he would tell on the others because he kind of stayed by himself, and then
He was the tattletale.
well, yeah, when he'd when he'd come up, he'd always come up to him and he'd go quacking, you know, out of the side of his mouth, you know, kind of like that. But Uncle Ronnie would say he's telling on him that the other duck is in the corn, you know, and kind of stuff. It was funny. But
They had so many funny things.
they did. It was hilarious. I'm gonna tell you what, to say the least. But when they come out, boy, chickens, ducks,
Can you
That's what I'm
see? Can you see?
all just went wild coming out.
Can you see that Cadillac limousine going down the highway?
Yeah,
And
with
chickens
all-
flying
Or
feathers, chicken in the back seat. I can see Lamar.
I can too, but
I can
mean,
just see Lamar.
I didn't know Lamar until, you know, of course I was a kid, but I can picture him.
You remember Lamar?
I remember Lamar, and I can just picture him rolling his eyes, and of course,
Yeah.
every nasty word you can think
Yeah.
of.
Coming out of his mouth.
Well,
That's like when we went to get all those dogs at the pet store. We had the whole back seat full of we were in the studs.
Yeah.
Whole back seat full of dogs. Puppies.
that's a question. Just, I mean, because you have no way of knowing, but just, you know, fun questions of what do you think? They said what kind of.
That's what people needed to know about Elvis. You know,
how he was
How
like
he
that,
was.
and he was.
I got little short films of him on, you know,
Tractor.
his first tractor. You know, he got was a little real international tractor, and that's why I've always been kind of fond of the red one.
The little red
The red
tractors.
tractor.
Because of that.
One of the questions was, what do you think Elvis would drive nowadays? Do you think he would still do the sports cars, or if he was still alive, do you think he would want the big old pickup truck so he could haul the the chickens and the?
I think he'd go all electric.
You think he would?
No.
And that was a question too that I was going to add is, how do you think he would feel about?
I don't think he
an
would.
I
electric
don't
car?
think he would like them.
Do you think he
Although
would stick to the
He,
gasoline?
you know, he was one to, you know, something new that caught his eye. And
He tried out.
He'd tried
Yeah.
it, you know. But I don't think he would have liked it as much as the
I remember one time
gasoline engine, you know.
he had one, and I think we were going to the crosstown, and he went over a hump on the parking lot, and the car quit. I think it was that convertible that he had, Cadillac convertible, black.
Mhm.
And it quit, and he got so mad he just got out and left it sitting there. And got some. He did, and said he just said, "Well, to hell with it," you know, and called it a few other things, and just left it sitting. Somebody had to go get it and bring it back. He took somebody else's car,
Yeah.
and he drove off. But he was just like that, though. He did.
He was a character.
He was, and he was so funny, but he was such a smart. He was very intelligent. People don't realize how intelligent he was, but he was so funny, and I mean, he could be in deep thought, and we could be in something really, really deep talking about, and all of a sudden he just, you know, spit out something that didn't make any sense, or and start dying laughing. And he said, you can't get too serious. You never get too serious, because it's not good for you.
I don't know why, but nowadays I could picture him. Of course, I can't say any brand names or logos. We can't afford that. But I could picture him in a big old bulky truck with the big old wheels. It would be fancy. I mean, I'm talking not like an old dinged up, but I mean shiny, fancy, up high, with all the driving around as a farmer, but not actually getting out
and doing anything. He actually had a truck.
Yeah.
You know, he had a dual wheel truck he had. Whatever he liked at the time.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if it was expensive or cheap.
I think he would have, I mean, it's just my guess, so I think he would have had a Hummer.
Oh, I do too.
So, yeah.
Mhm.
So,
I do too.
you know, he
Yeah.
probably, I don't know how long he'd have kept it.
Yeah. That.
I think
He would have tried it out.
He would have
Yeah.
to try it out, you know.
Well, you know, other than the Stutz
now,
and
you
stuff
know,
like
it's-
that, he didn't drive them. You know, he drove the Stutz a lot.
Yeah.
But
We had different ones for different occasions.
yeah,
So.
yeah. But he liked to, when he went somewhere, he liked to be able to have somebody in the back seat with him, and you know, so he. He made sure that he had sufficient room.
Yeah.
Speaking, and I mean, this is just like farm foods, nutrition. I'm staying with the subject, I guess. A question that we had says, do you think that the cooks at Graceland should have made more nutritious meals for Elvis? Who made the menu?
He did, he told them what he wanted to eat.
He told them.
Yeah.
They did not. It wasn't their choice. So I mean,
Now see, the cooks, they had to cook for like Grandma Delta, and they decided what they wanted to eat, but Elvis always said what he wanted,
What he
but
wanted.
nobody made menus up for
nobody.
him because
Yeah, I mean, if they just said, "Hey, we're doing something more nutritious, health-wise,"
he would have said, to hell with that, I'll eat what I want to eat, and you eat it if you think it's so healthy.
Well, and another question that went along, and it could have been the same person, I'm not sure, said, do you think that Elvis's doctors, do you think that they should have had him on a more health-conscious diet, or do you think they suggested that and he just
They
didn't
did.
do it?
I mean, a lot of times, well, he was, see, right there at the last, he was on a liquid diet.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he'd go on diets, you know, where he'd eat,
Certain things, but if he didn't like it, he
yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I mean, the doctors did suggest at
Oh,
times
yeah.
something, but I mean, that was just
Oh, yeah.
like anybody, that's up to you if you're
Yeah.
going to do it.
Mhm.
Whether he'd stay on it, most of the time he would. But yeah, it was times, you know, when he'd, at home especially, you know, at Graceland, he'd get on the bench, you know, eating and, you know.
Yeah, one thing, and that he'd stay on it for a month,
and he would put on weight, you know, rather quickly. You know.
Remember? Do
He
you
had to be
remember those
careful.
little? I know. Instead of eating snacks and stuff at the movies when we would go, because I used to, he'd send out and get 100 or 200 crystals, and we would eat crystals at the movie. But there for a while, Linda had a thing where she showed and some of the cooks, and maybe Linda, I don't know for sure, but they made these little Jello squares,
Uh-huh.
but they put more of the gelatin. You could buy those little packs, you know what I'm talking about, and it made it thicker and harder, and it was not sticky. You could actually pick them up with your hands and eat them, and they were sugar free. And she had a bunch of those made up and would take them in a big thing for him to snack on at the movie. He did that for him a short time,
and then he said, "Well, no more."
but
Till he got tired.
Till he got
You know,
tired
I
of it.
like what to say, get
Yeah.
on a certain thing.
But
and
see,
wear
the
it
thing
out.
about it is he didn't have trouble with weight back in his younger days. He was so active.
Well, he did too.
Did he?
Yeah, oh yeah, yes, he did.
I know he stayed busy all the time, like roller skating,
Yeah.
movies.
That he was more active.
He was
and,
more active, and I think that's one reason they tried with the racquetball, to get him more active like that.
Yeah.
I know we all lost a ton of weight, but he didn't like to work up a sweat too much. Yeah.
That's what steam room is for.
Yeah, that's it. And he had a steam room.
He did.
He had a steam room with the racquetball court. So,
One other one was, they said they heard that Elvis would go on what they call fasting diets. They said, do you know, was he fasting right before he passed, or on any type of odd
He was
type
on a
of
liquid diet.
He was on a
Yeah.
liquid diet.
mhm.
Yeah.
And I guess one more that would just kind of go along with our
Okay.
video. And
Or roll it out.
we'll move on. Do you they're asking, do you think Elvis would have retired from show business and settled down?
I don't know. He loved it.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have completely retired. I think he would have been kind of like,
He might have slowed down some.
yeah, slowed down, and all.
I mean,
Maybe do one every now and then,
right,
you know.
right. Or
Yeah.
do you think maybe he would have? And this is just strictly opinion. You have no way of knowing, but maybe stayed in show business as far as like maybe been a manager for a group or a manager for somebody. Or do you think he still would have wanted to be the main attraction?
He would have wanted.
He would have wanted to be the
He would still want to
main
be who he
attraction.
was, you know, and all.
He always was the main attraction, and I don't think he would have.
Do you think he would have still been living at Graceland, knowing how Memphis, Whitehaven is now, and how dangerous it is? Do you think he would have been
I
there?
think he would. I think it was just too hard for him to give it up. I mean, he had thought about it a couple times, you know.
And
thought
I mean,
about
back
building
then it
a-
wasn't even bad like it is now.
No. He even thought about building a house down at the ranch at one time, you know, and of course that fell through. And
He just loved Graceland, though, and I
It's
think it's like you
because of-
said, his mother.
yeah, his mama.
Yeah.
and, you
He
know,
had a
there's so
connection
many,
there, yeah.
so many memories there, you know, and I just don't, you know, I just don't think he'd.
Don't think so.
I don't really think he would have either. I think he would have always kept Graceland.
Yeah, I did too.
Alright.
And two, you know, after, even with Lisa loved Graceland. And he knew that too.
Yeah.
So he, even if he had lived and she had grown up, I think he would have made sure Graceland was there for her too.
Yeah.
Alright, well I guess we can wrap this one up. Like I say, some questions we mix in little odds and ends, but some of them it makes it easy to put them all, group them together into to like questions.
Well, with that little episode and all that we just told about the garden and all that, I hope it don't bore y'all completely to death, but I get on a crazy binge every now and then, and stuff just strikes me as funny, and I thought that would be cute. But anyway, remember, what do we always say? Elvis
Elvis Fans Matter.